Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're really digging into something fascinating. It's all about how AI is completely changing the game for bringing creative ideas for physical products to life. You know that feeling, right? You get a brilliant idea, maybe for a storybook, a really unique t shirt, something for your wall, that great aha moment. But then it often just stops. It gets kind of stuck in your head because, how do you actually make it? Most of us aren't designers. We don't have the fancy software or printing press sitting around. And traditionally, yeah, those hurdles just meant a lot of cool ideas never saw the light of day.
Exactly. And that's the wall that artificial intelligence is now just knocking down. We're stepping into a really new era, a different model. Our sources are calling it generative commerce. Think about it like how streaming changed music or movies and made consumption easy. Well, generative AI is doing that for creation, for making customized stuff. So generative commerce, it's this whole system using AI, specifically generative AI, to go from just, describing an idea straight to a real physical product you can hold, often skipping all those old design and production headaches. So our mission today, let's unpack how AI makes it possible. Turn a simple prompt into an actual product. It feels a bit like magic, honestly. The research sums it up perfectly. Imagination in, product out.
Okay, yeah, let's unpack that because that first hurdle is huge for most people, isn't it? For so long, you had the idea, but the immediate question was, okay, but how do I make it look good? How do I actually design this thing?
Yeah.
I mean, I can picture something amazing in my head, but getting that into a file that a printer can use, that's a whole other skill. We've all hit those walls, right? Needing design skills or that expensive software or, finding the money to pay a professional. It felt like you needed a special key to even get started. How is AI really tearing down that wall?
Well, it basically removes that design bottleneck entirely. It changes the whole creation game. These generative AI models, you often hear them called text-to-image or diffusion models. They aren't just finding existing pictures. No, they're trained on just massive amounts of data, images, and text, learning how words and visuals connect deeply. So they can actually synthesize brand new original images, layouts, even text, just from your description, from your words. So when we say it's like having a personal designer living inside your computer, it's pretty close to reality. It's this smart assistant ready to visualize your ideas right then and there, generating new options based on what you ask. And platforms like Plotiz that our sources mentioned, they're connecting this AI creation part directly with the production side. So you go from that simple prompt, maybe a sentence or two, straight to ordering the finished physical product all in one flow. It's a massive jump from, say, the older print-on-demand sites. There you had to bring the finished design, right?
Yeah.
Or pick from their limited templates. Now the AI actually does the creative design work itself. You don't have to be the designer anymore.
That is a really profound shift.
Wow. And you listening right now, you can probably start imagining things, right? What's that idea you've had tucked away? Maybe it is that cozy children's storybook about a space traveling panda with illustrations in a watercolor style.
Yeah.
So what happens next with that prompt? What does this personal designer AI actually give you?
Right. So with that Panda prompt, it's not just one picture. The AI could draft the story text, create those unique watercolor illustrations, maybe even give you a few different pandas or spaceships to choose from. Then it puts it all together, formats it into a book layout, designs the pages, picks fonts, and then prepares the actual print-ready file, all starting from your imagination and that description. It basically turns your vision into something ready to be made almost instantly, and that's how that barrier just crumbles.
Okay, so it breaks down the initial design problem, but what sounds really interesting is the back and forth, the iterative part. It's not just getting one design attempt, is it? It's about how fast and flexible this whole creative process becomes. You're not just waiting and hoping. You're seeing previews like right away, right on the actual product. That feels like more than just convenience. It feels like it shifts the power. You're not just guessing how it'll look or waiting for someone else's interpretation. You're kind of co-creating with the AI, seeing your idea come to life in real time. What does that speed mean for actually being creative, not just getting it done faster?
It totally changes the creative flow. The real magic here is that it fosters this iterative cycle. It's like a collaboration between you and the AI. If that first result isn't quite right, maybe the Panda spaceship looks too modern and you wanted something more retro. You don't scrap everything. You don't email a designer and wait days. You just tweak your prompt. Maybe say retro rocket ship instead of spaceship, or add brighter colors. And boom, you see a new version almost instantly. This creates what the sources call a tight feedback loop, and that's huge for creativity. It encourages you to experiment, to play around, because there's no big-time penalty. You're not investing weeks into drafting and revising manually like the old way. You can just try things out, explore different styles, keep refining until it matches what's in your head. It's like having a design assistant that never gets tired or impatient. It lowers the stress and friction, making it honestly a much more fun and fluid way to get from an idea to a real thing.
Okay, so that's how we're creating.
Yeah.
What about what we're creating for? For us as consumers, I mean, we grew up surrounded by mass production. Walk into any big store and it's just rows and rows of the same thing, thousands of identical items. But this AI approach seems to flip that completely, from mass production to mass customization. Suddenly, every single item could potentially be unique. It almost feels like going back to bespoke, custom-made things, but like at internet scale.
It's exactly right. And this isn't just a tech thing pushing outwards. It taps into a really big shift in what people want. The research backs this up strongly. One stat says 71% of consumers expect companies to offer personalized experiences. That's huge. And lots of people, often more than half, say they're willing to pay more for customized products. People are really craving things that feel special, things that feel made just for them. Items that tell their story or reflect an inside joke or just fit their unique style. And AI-driven creation finally makes that kind of deep personalization practical and scalable for everybody. Think about the examples. A puzzle with your own family photo, a hoodie with that slogan only your friends get, maybe jewelry designed around a special date. This tech lets you create and own something nobody else in the world has created on the fly just for you. It really speaks to that desire for individuality, doesn't it? And maybe lets us connect more deeply with the things we own because they mean something specific to us. It's moving from just buying what's offered to buying things that truly resonate personally.
And pulling back to the whole process again, from that first spark of an idea to holding the product, the speed just seems mind-blowing. That might be the most astonishing part. We all know design and product development used to take ages. Weeks, months sometimes. I remember trying to mock up a simple logo once, fiddling with software. It took forever. So frustrating. So when you talk about this becoming an afternoon's creative adventure, wow, that sounds almost too good to be true for anyone who's felt that creative block or just waited endlessly for proofs and revisions. We're talking about compressing weeks, maybe months of back and forth, emails, changes, into potentially just minutes or hours.
It's a fundamental re-engineering. Yeah. The traditional way involved lots of steps, different people, approvals, maybe physical samples. It was slow. The new reality. A clever AI can whip up complex designs in seconds. And this is key. It can then coordinate the production almost immediately. It's not just faster design, it's the seamless link from idea right through to making it. And the result is, it's transformative. What used to be a long, drawn-out project can literally become an afternoon's creative adventure. And that quick turnaround isn't just fast. It enables that iteration we talked about. You could try multiple ideas without a huge cost time commitment. Like you're not sure which art piece would look best on your wall. Generate a few concepts, order small, cheap prints of each, and see them in your actual space before you commit to a big one. It just compresses that whole journey. Creativity, creation to delivery. Makes it one smooth flow. And that empowers everyone. Parents making a storybook, teachers creating custom classroom aids, artists selling unique merchandise without needing tons of inventory. It basically smooths out the whole path, making it easier for anyone to create and even sell their ideas.
So just to kind of wrap up this deep dive, generative commerce is basically putting these incredibly powerful creation tools right into our hands, your hands. It's making sophisticated product creation accessible to, well, pretty much everyone. It empowers your imagination, knocks down those old barriers. It really does feel like the main limit now is just your imagination, shifting the power in a way.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's kind of exciting to think that we're really just scratching the surface here. This is the beginning of the generative commerce era. As these AI tools keep getting better, and believe me, they are getting better incredibly fast.
Yeah.
More nuanced, better at understanding what you mean. We can expect even more types of products and richer creative options to open up for everyone. It's not just making current stuff faster or easier. It's going to enable totally new kinds of products we haven't even thought of yet.
Right. Which leads to a final thought for you to maybe ponder after this. If any unique idea can now become a unique product, what does that unlock? What new ways of expressing ourselves might emerge? What about like super localized little economies based on unique creations? Or even collaborative art projects on a scale we haven't seen? It could change more than just what we buy. It could change how we connect, how we create value, how we share our ideas with the world. So think about it. What would you create now that your ideas truly deserve to exist in the world and you actually have the tools to make them real?